What's up you guys, this is Josh and welcome back to Fangeared. So by now you have probably seen everyone else here at Fangeared's favorite video games of the past console generation, and now it is finally time for mine. So for the past console generation, I have chosen the original Bioshock. So on the surface, this game does seem like it would just be your typical first-person shooters, and while it does play like that, it feels a lot more like an Aldous Huxley novel. If you're not familiar with Aldous Huxley, he does a lot of dystopian, utopian, futuristic type of novels, and they're really great. The story takes place in 1960 in an underwater utopia called Rapture. Rapture was created by some rich white dude named Andrew Ryan. He created it to try and create, of course, as usually happens in utopian novels, the perfect society. And then, of course, something goes wrong and now it's a dystopia, which also happens in every other utopian society. Rapture falls thanks to the discovery of a plasmid called Adam. People started injecting themselves with this thing and then they got superpowers and eventually it made them all go crazy. You play as Jack, who seemingly stumbles upon the Rapture by accident. His plane crashes in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, which happens to be right next to the lighthouse, which leads to Rapture. Upon your arrival, you meet Atlas. Atlas is basically an ominous voice in the beginning of the game, and he guides you through what will be your adventure in Rapture. He tells you where to go and what to do, and ultimately helps you in his own agenda, which is to take down Andrew Ryan. Rapture is riddled with splicers, which are your common enemies. They come in a few different forms, but they're mostly pretty easy to kill. What you really have to look out for are the Big Daddies, which to this day are one of the most iconic enemies in video games. Each one plays like its own boss battle. If you see one and you're low on health, you better steer clear, because these guys will deal a lot of damage, and they stop at nothing to save the Little Sisters. Which brings me to the Little Sisters. They're like these little demonic baby things that go searching for Adam among the dead bodies within Rapture. And while they seem evil, they do have the capacity to be saved. Upon killing each Big Daddy, you have the option to either drain the Little Sisters of all of their Adam and essentially kill them, or take the Adam out of them to save them and make them normal. Well, kind of normal, at least. Your choices during these sections will determine which ending you get, which there are two of. The plasmids are really what saved this game from being a generic shooter. They become a core mechanic of the game by allowing the player to utilize multiple different powers that you can equip to your left hand, while also implementing a variety of different guns in your right hand. By mixing and matching plasmids and guns, the player is able to cater to their own playstyle. Now, what I think is really the coolest part of this game is the player's ability to make the story as complex as they want. By finding these different voice recordings from people who lived in Rapture, either before it fell, during the fall, or what was going on behind closed doors, you get little glimpses into what was really going on. And these are completely optional and not necessary for the enjoyment of the game. That's for people who really want to dive deeper into the story here, which there is a lot going on if you really take the time to look for it. So, there you have it. My favorite game of the outgoing generation, Bioshock. Definitely would have to say Bioshock. So at this point, if you have not played Bioshock yet, you need to go to the store right now and pick it up. Would you kindly? Alright guys, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already so that you can see all of our videos here on Fangeared. Leave a comment, let me know. Did you love Bioshock like I did? What's your favorite game of this past generation? And we'll see you next time.